Good morning, Clark Middle School. I'm Mrs. Vickers, and I'm so happy it's time for the first Best Me with Mrs. V SEL lesson of the year. I am in Miss Stidham's class today recording. I try to do a different classroom each time. And so this is Miss Stidham's room in the 8th grade wing. If you ever have a chance, come by and say hi, check it out. It's really welcoming and really reflects Miss Stidham's personality, which is really a nice place to be. I always try to point out something that I really enjoy about the room. I really enjoy Miss Stidham has set up a kind of a amygdala, from our last year of brain lessons, kind of a reset spot, or maybe a calm spot, or somewhere that you can go and still hear the lesson, but maybe take a little break and just have a little spot to take a break in. So I really like that area. So thank you, Miss Stidham, for doing that. So what does SEL mean? Well, SEL stands for Social Emotional Learning, and it's an opportunity for us to learn and practice skills that help us understand ourselves and also others, so that we know how to interact with each other in an empathetic and respectful way. We learn about how our brain works, so we know how to manage our emotions and help us be the best version of ourselves that we can be. At the end of last year, I asked students to fill out a Google form giving me feedback about the lessons. I strive to implement many of those suggestions and ideas so that this time can be beneficial for you and for all of us. One thing the students said was they liked the video format with opportunities to pause within the video and have discussions and do activities. So that's what it's going to be today. So let's get started. Today's topic is learning about me and what I do around here, and learning about you and learning about us as a school community. So let's get started. So first of all, let's get to know me, the school counselor. Most of these 7th and 8th graders know me, but I want to make sure that all the 6th graders and any new students, just in case you forget what I do around here, I want to take that time to remind you. So some people call me Mrs. Vickers, some people call me Mrs. V, and some people, like my son and daughter, call me Mom, which is one of my favorite names. That's my daughter, Em. She is a student at Indiana State University majoring in fine arts. She also speaks a lot of Japanese, and she is an amazing artist. My son Eric is a student at Hanover College, and he majors in kinesiology and integrative physiology, working towards his physical therapy degree, and he loves to play and watch sports. They can be more different in personalities and interests, but they are both funny and loving and caring people. And so another few other things that I like are sunrises and sunsets, my dogs, Rocky and Desmo, and of course my family I love very much. I also love being a school counselor because I love to help kids in any way I can. So that's what I do. I want you to have the best experience here that you can at Clark Middle School. I want you to have, so how I can help you is different for each student and each day. So I help you make decisions about your academic path, help your schedule reflect who you are, not only your academic grade level requirements, but also reflects a little bit of your choices and your interests. I can help you find extracurriculars that you might be interested in. I'm a really good listener, so I'm here if you need someone to listen to about something that you're struggling with, or maybe a conflict with a friend, or if you just need to share some good news. I enjoy seeing you and listening to what's going on in your life. I also teach the social emotional learning and challenge you to be the best version of you that you can be each day. I am here to help you when you maybe make a decision that's not the best you, and what to do next, and help you with problem solving skills. I'm also here to celebrate you when you do make those positive, good choices for you. And if you just remember that I'm here for you, and whatever you need, if you come and see me, then I can help you and figure out what we can do to help you and make a plan and work together. So now that you know a little bit about me and what I do, I wanted to point out too, while we're Miss Stidham's, if you look just behind me and what you can see, I already know a little bit about her. She is a Hoosier. She went to IU, so we can kind of see she is positive, and she really is a cheerleader for her students. So I just thought I'd point that out too, because now we get to know Miss Stidham a little bit just by being in her classroom. But I do want to make sure that you know how to visit me, how to contact me if you have a question or just want to talk. You can email me. You can ask a teacher to email me. You can sign up using my Google form that's located in the Best Me with Mrs. V Google Classroom. So here's the banner. And so here's my Google Classroom. Here are the resources in there. Sign up form, the homework help information, trivia. Here's where I'll add all the new activities that we're doing. If you click on an activity, you can then, when you're in the Google Classroom from the student side, you can send me a private message that way. There's lots of ways that you can get a hold of me and tell me that you need me or you want to talk with me. So I'm going to give you just a few minutes to check that out. If you want to, while you're looking around, if you want to fill out the scavenger hunt and mark it off that you found these things and turn it in to me, I will choose one for a prize on one of the next morning shows. So you have to look out for that. So if you have a chance and fill this out and turn it in to me. So your teacher's going to pause the lesson for a few minutes so you can make sure that you join the Google Classroom if you haven't done that already. The code is BRKKFSZ. So do that. So that's one thing that you need to do. There's the scavenger hunt. So I want you to be able to do that. And so you're going to pause in just a second. Before you do, though, I want you to watch this office tour of that Olivia and Briley, my second period cadets, made for us. So it's going to be so great to have this to help you know where everyone's offices are. So take a minute to watch this, and then we'll give you a few minutes to look around the Google Classroom.
Hi, I'm Olivia, and this is Briley, and we're going to be touring the office. So this is Mrs. Baker's bulletin board. Here we look at our reminding questions. You can also join one of the new enrollment programs. Office. He's the principal and he's really funny. If you ever want to join a sport or club too, you can do that. This is Colin's office. If you need to turn anything, like any money into her, just come right here. This is Mrs. Vicker's office. She's the school counselor. If you ever have any problems, you can come there. She's the assistant principal. This is Mr. Fox's office. He's the dean of students. This is Mrs. McCormick's office. She is the CTE.
Okay, thank you, Riley and Olivia, for making that video for us. You did a great job. I'll have that in the Best Me with Mrs. V Google Classroom too if you want to watch it again anytime, so that if you're not sure where an office is located. And of course, you can always come by and we can help you again. So it's time to pause the video. Make sure that you've joined the Google Classroom, my Google Classroom. Look around, fill out the scavenger hunt as you go. You might as well, you could win a prize. And then I'll see you back here in just a few minutes. Okay, welcome back. Now that you know me a little better, let's talk about getting to know each other. This is my favorite part of the lesson today because this is where you can make such a huge difference in our school culture. Taking time to get to know each other, even if it's just each other's names, that is powerful. It creates a community of empathy, which is so important to help remind us that we are all human beings who have feelings. We all have good days and not so good days. We may be struggling in one way or another, or our lives might be going pretty well for the moment. No matter what, if we start out with all having the same goal of everyone should feel safe and welcomed at school, then we can all agree that being unkind is not okay, and we will stick up for each other or find a safe adult that can help. One thing that I want to do first, before you kind of talk about each other, is get to know yourselves just a little bit. And when I say get to know yourselves, get to know what you need for yourself. Because sometimes things, in your life might be a little stressful or overwhelming, or maybe they're going just fine, but you need that time to relax or calm yourself. So one thing I often do is talk about focused attention exercises, or sometimes I call it mindfulness. And those focused attention practices can do a couple different things. Some of them are to help energize us, help us stay focused and stay in that present moment. And some help calm our brain and body when we might feel a little dysregulated. Remember, if you don't feel comfortable doing them right now, that's okay. Maybe you could try it sometime when you're alone just to get used to it. Or maybe jump in anytime that you might feel a little more comfortable. Many of the breathing exercises or focus practices I share often are done without even anybody realizing that you're even doing them. But we also want to get comfortable with doing what we need to do to take care of ourselves and be comfortable with others doing the same. So if you see someone taking a deep breath, stretching, closing their eyes for a minute, just please give them that space and moments they need. Okay, let's give it a try. So the first one is going to help us focus. So this can be useful when you're feeling a little anxious or overwhelmed. Maybe you've been listening for a long time or sitting still for a long time, and your brain just feels so full, and you just need a little brain break so that you can just kind of get your focus back. But maybe it's not a time that you can maybe get up and move around or something like that. So your teacher has some little pieces of paper, or maybe you just want to tear a little piece out of your, use a scrap paper or something on the back of something. So we're just going to take this little piece of paper, and we're going to begin to crinkle it slowly. And I want you to make sure that you're breathing in and out. Remember those belly breaths, those deep breaths. And as you crinkle, inhale and exhale, crinkling the paper into a small ball. Okay, so I'm going to do that. Please join in if you feel comfortable, and let's give it a try. So and it's nice to kind of just focus on the paper, tune everything out for a minute. That's what it's all about. We're just going to allowing your muscles to kind of do that muscle relaxation where you're kind of where you're really tensing it up, and then you're going to let it out. Let the muscles kind of let go a little bit. So you've got your, and as you're doing that, take some deep breaths. And so now I want you to you got a little paper ball. Okay, take a second, look at it, kind of focus on it. That's what you're doing. You're kind of helping your brain have just a moment, a break from what you're doing, distract it for a moment, focus on something else. So now you're going to unfold the paper. And if you have a pen or pencil nearby, maybe you just can trace it with your finger, but you're going to trace along some of the lines. Don't think too hard about it, just trace. Trace with your finger, trace with your pencil. Don't think too much about what you're tracing or which lines you're tracing. just trace. Okay. So as you trace, focus only on that. Focus on the lines. Keep breathing. Okay, so you're gonna stop. So you're just gonna take a second and look at your paper. What do you see? Do you notice any designs? Do you notice anything different? What do you notice about the lines that were in your paper? There's no right or wrong. It's just a time to let your brain focus on something else. Take a few minutes just to appreciate those lines, just to look, see what they look like, see if you can find any shapes or drawings in there. Okay, so think about, because this is something, how could you implement this in maybe your day if you need it? Would this be something that would help you, or no, maybe this would be a little more stressful for you? The different exercises that I do, they don't all work for everyone, and not everyone's comfortable with all of them, but I like to give you lots of different ones. Maybe some things would stick for you. Okay, all right, so let's see. The other focused attention practice or mindfulness exercise that we're going to do is just a calming breathing exercise. It's simple and can be done anywhere. I like to do shape breathing because it's very simple. You can choose any shape you like, really. I like to usually choose triangles or squares. But you can either draw it on your paper. You could just trace your desk. You could trace in the air if you want. Just whatever works for you, whatever you feel comfortable doing. So I'm going to use this square today just so you can see what I'm doing. But I like to do it on the desk because nobody really notices that. And if you don't feel comfortable tracing it, you can always just trace it with your eyes or in your mind, whatever works for you. There's no right or wrong. Okay, so let's try it. So you're just going to start in the corner of the shape, and you're going to trace. And as you trace along the edge or the line, you're going to take a deep breath in. Remember, it's that belly breath, not just in your nose. Take the deep belly breath. Okay, because that helps the oxygen get all to your systems, okay, that you need. So we're going to take a deep breath as we trace. And then as you get to this corner, you're just going to hold it for 3 seconds. And as you trace down the next side, you're going to exhale slowly. And repeat. So now you're going to hold it for 3 seconds. Or whatever works for you. Remember, this is about you. Deep inhale breath as you trace along the next line. Hold. And release. So you can do that without on your desk, on a piece of paper, just in your mind, and nobody would even know, but it definitely helps because we're just getting that oxygen throughout your body that can help make better decisions. Your heart rate will calm down, your muscles will relax, and it can make you just feel more calm. Okay, so I'm going to share more of those each week. So check those out, try them, let me know how they work for you. If you need more, I've got tons and tons more. Okay, so now that we've learned some strategies to help ourselves, let's learn more about each other. Remember, learning more about each other helps us make those connections that help strengthen our empathetic skills toward one another. One thing that's always easy to find out about someone is their name. Saying, "Hi, my name is Mrs. Vickers, what's your name?" is a great way to start. Names are important, so if you have difficulty pronouncing someone's name, it's okay to ask them to remind you how to say it. Most importantly, be respectful when using someone's name. Effort means so much. So empathy can change everything. I'm going to spin this spinner, and there'll be a simple topic that's a conversation starter. Go back over here. Okay, I'm going to spin the spinner. There'll be just a simple question to get this conversation started. Okay, so you can, your teacher may just go pause this video and pull up the spinner on their own and do it as you want to do it as your classroom, or I'm going to spin it. When the topic comes up, you can pause, discuss, come back to me, and I'll spin it again. Okay, so we're going to spin it a few times. Either way you do it, let's go. All right, so let's do the first spin. I like how it's a sound effect. Okay, something awesome about me is, So sometimes these questions are the hardest because we have a hard time saying like good things about ourselves sometimes, since people sometimes take that as bragging. But it's okay to know your strengths, know what your value is, know what you are good at. And that's okay to say, hey, this is something that I am awesome. That's awesome about me. Something awesome about me, like I said, that's really hard. I think that I do a pretty good job of making sure I greet people when I see them and say hi in the morning and look at them. So that's something I don't know. I think that's awesome about me. So pause the video, talk about what is awesome about you, and I'll see you back. Okay, let's spin it again. Oh, I want to be. So you've probably been asked that since you were little. What do you want to be when you grow up? So right now, you don't have to have it all figured out, but what do you want to be? I can't think of anything else I'd rather be than a school counselor at Clark Middle School right now, so I'm pretty lucky. So what do you think you want to be right now? Okay, I hope you learned a lot about each other, about what you want to be. Let's see what the next topic is. Ooh, one word that describes me is. One word that describes me. And see, it's hard to talk about ourselves. One word that describes me is. I don't know. I'm going to let you tell me. Send me a message and tell me what word. One word that describes me, what you think. You can do that too if you'd rather talk about each other and see what. Because you might know each other and you could help each other out. Sometimes we need that help. Let's do a couple more. My family. So that's pretty open. My family. So it can be who's in your family, somebody that's special in your family, whatever you want to share about your family. Maybe you don't want to share anything about your family, and that's okay too. It's okay to put a boundary up. So if you don't want to share anything about your family, or you don't have anything that you can think of at the moment, that's okay. My family loves to play games together and joke around. All right, let's do another one. I don't like. So what's something that you don't like? I don't like when people put each other down. I don't like that. So what do you not like? Okay. Let's try one more. I'll put the spinner in the Google Classroom too, so that you can always do it some more. Right. Would you rather climb a tree or play a video game? That's a really tough question for me because I've never been very good at climbing trees, and I don't play video games very often, but I think that I would prefer to climb a tree, or try to climb a tree, because I like to be out in the outdoors. So what about you? Okay, so I'm going to keep this spinner in the Google Classroom, so if you ever want to spin it and do it with a friend, it'll be there for you. Okay, so let's go back here. So the last get to know you activity is the hoodie activity. One thing I do know about middle schoolers is they love hoodies. Your teacher has a copy of this hoodie for you to express yourself and help us get to know each other. There's a template you can use for ideas. It's in the middle. Has some ideas of what you can put in each section, but you don't have to use it. You can share whatever information you'd like to share, or decorate it however you want to decorate it, or make this however you want to share your information with others. Thank you to Briley and Olivia for the examples. So they use the template and gave us information about themselves using the template. If you'd like to share your hoodie with me, I always enjoy seeing your work, and I love to hang them up on my bulletin board. I don't have to if you don't want me to, but I'd love to see them. I'd love to have you help for me to get to know you a little better. So your teacher's going to pause so that you can work on this for a little bit. And I hope if you have time to come back for the last part, and it's getting to know us, Clark Middle School. Okay, so I'll see you back here in just a few minutes. All right, so now it's time to talk about us. We are a community here at Clark Middle School. It's up to each one of us to make it the best place it can be. Having a caring environment where we feel safe, heard, and seen is important, and it takes us all to create that space. How do we do that? Well, we can do it in small ways. We can do it in small ways or big ways. One thing we always need to do, though, is keep communication open and listen to each other's needs and ideas. I have some questions for you about CMS. You'll answer these questions either individually in small groups as a class, however your teacher's decided. So you can either pause the video and get started on however your class wants to do it, or you can stay here with me and I'll go through each slide and we can do it together. So before we do that though, these are just a few, I have so many pictures, but these are just a few things that we do as a community. It brings us together, like Spirit Days, sports, Unity Days, Student Council. Here's a display that we did, Red Ribbon Week, so special days that we have. The positive message shirt I wear each Monday, and a lot of you have joined in, and a lot of the teachers have joined in, and I love it. Anytime we can read or be around something that's positive, that we need those positive messages sometimes to kind of take away some of the negativity that we experience maybe on social media or out in the world. So I can't have enough kind messages to one another. Okay, so if you're sticking with me for the slideshow, these are going to be the questions. It's important for you to use your voice. I want you to be honest, give input on how you feel, pause at each question, to have time to discuss, and I'd love to hear your thoughts and feedback. So feel free to send me notes with those ideas that your class has done. So, first one, what do you like most about Clark Middle School? So, what do you look forward to maybe? What do you enjoy the most, or you feel is a strength for CMS? Okay. Thank you for discussing that. I'd like to hear what you love about CMS. So on the other side of that, what would you like to change about CMS if you could? So what do you think could be better, or maybe something we need or you'd like to do at Clark Middle School that would make it even better? You can pause now and talk about that. Okay, Spirit Days are really fun. So what's your favorite Spirit Day? Why? Why is that your favorite? What Spirit Day would you like to continue doing? Or maybe there's a new Spirit Day that you've heard about or that we've never done that you would like to try. What's your favorite food item served in the cafeteria? You can also take this time to give any suggestions about the cafeteria, whether it's seating or the way we do things. I don't know, whatever you think about the cafeteria or the food, this is a chance for you to voice your opinion on that. This one I'm really looking forward to, because what would you like adults to know? What do you think is most misunderstood about middle schoolers? Teachers, here's the teacher's chance to tell you, what do you wish someone had told you when you were in middle school? All right, so now's the chance to ask any questions, make any comments, suggestions, ideas, whatever you have about Clark Middle School and how our community here can be better, or what things that you really like and you want to continue to see. Whatever your thoughts and ideas are, I would love to hear them. And we've implemented a lot of those things over the years that students tell us that they'd like to see more of. Okay? All right, so thank you for your participation. I hope you've had a great start to your year. If you have any questions or need me for any reason, or just want to say hi, stop by, I would love to hear from you. Have a great week, Clark Middle School.